This is White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. On May 6th, Psaki appeared on David Axelrod's podcast, The Axe Files, and made a pretty obvious statement.
He takes questions nearly every day he's out from the press. That is not something we recommend. In fact, a lot of times we say don't take questions, but he's going to do what he wants to do because he's the president of the United States.
It's not so much that he takes questions per se, it's that the press corps yells questions at him and occasionally he answers a couple. And when he does, he makes statements like this.
I'm sorry, this last question I'll take, and I'm really going to be in trouble.
In trouble? With who? He's the most powerful man in the world. Well, theoretically. I mean, think about it. Biden comes out, makes a 7-minute statement, and then he claims he's gonna get in trouble because he's answering 3 minutes of questions. He can't get in trouble, he's the boss. Again, theoretically.
Now, here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers. Don't panic, number one.
Yeah, if Jen Psaki and the White House Communications Office wanted to give Biden some real advice, they would tell him not to do so many press conferences and appearances.
And I was getting on the train, and Angelo Negri came up and he goes, "Joey, baby!"
What?
And I thought he was going to get shot.
File that under events that didn't happen to Joe Biden, but sure make a great story. Instead, Joe Biden is out and about making appearances and speeches nearly every single weekday. And honestly, it's not the best idea.
In 2020, more than 2.3 million restaurants jobs disappeared. I also made clear to President Putin that the United States doing some meetings with folks who are providing, for example, and the governor of Maine, Republican.
Except that the Republican governor of Maine, Janet Mills, is actually a Democrat.
There's a situation where there's an estimation of somewhere between $700 billion and $1.3 trillion. We're going to make it easier than ever to get vaccinated. Visit vaccines.gov, or text your zip code to 438829.
Or 30330, whatever.
Anybody making less than $400,000 a year will not pay a single penny in taxes.
Finally, a Biden-Harris administration policy that I can finally get behind.
Just a few hours ago, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and the CDC
Literally the same thing, Joe.
Announced that they are no longer recommending that fully vaccinated people need wear masks.
We've known this. The whole point of the vaccine is that if you take it, your chances of contracting or spreading the virus, let alone getting seriously ill from it, are considerably lowered to the point that it's pretty much non-existent. So why wasn't the CDC yelling this from the rooftops? I mean, the science hasn't changed in the last 4 or 5 months. Instead, the Biden administration and the CDC downplayed it so that they could insist that everyone wear masks until the hell they felt like it. And it just so happens that there's no time like the present, because the Harris-Biden administration has been having a bad couple of weeks. Very low unemployment numbers in the middle of an economic recovery, growing inflation, Russian hackers disrupting our gas supply, Iranian aggression, a rise in violent crime in our major cities, and a border crisis.
In April alone, Mr. President, 170,000 people apprehended at the border. It's a 20-year record.
It's way down now. We've now gotten control.
It's way down now. We've now gotten control.
Now, I'm not saying that the Harris-Biden administration and the CDC changed the guidance to distract the American people, but yeah, it seems pretty obvious. Sad, really.
The rule is very simple. Get vaccinated or wear a mask until you do. It's vax-ed or masked.
Nope, that's it. Masks are pretty much over.
If you're vaccinated, you can be around the vaccinated or unvaccinated people. But if you're not vaccinated or not fully vaccinated, you should wear a mask for your own protection and the protection of other unvaccinated people. The choice is yours.
As he has done several times in the past, Biden is ignoring the science and falsely claiming that masks protect the wearer. We have been told by the CDC that masks only protect you from spreading it to others. Which, honestly, I have never understood, but sure.
It's vaxxed or masked.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
So at the end of the press briefing, a reporter asked Biden how this rule would be enforced.
We don't enforce it. We, in fact, if you haven't been vaccinated, wear your mask for your own protection.
And the fact that it can't be enforced has people like CNN Dr. Lena Wen very worried.
Frankly, I was shocked by this announcement. I think they went from one extreme to another, and the major step that's missing here is, how do we know that people are telling the truth?
We won't ever know, and it doesn't matter. You see, as I said before, according to the CDC, you only needed a mask to protect those around you. But now, the vaccine is available to everyone, and if you choose to take it, then you have taken a step to protect yourself. In other words, self-responsibility is back, baby.
I mean, if you're going to the grocery store, maybe you're fully vaccinated, you take off your mask at the grocery store, but who's going to be checking to see if others are also vaccinated?
What the CNN doctor is completely ignoring is that if you are vaccinated, you are protecting yourself. You don't need to worry about whether or not people around you have COVID or not. If you are worried about getting sick, get the vaccine. And if someone chooses not to, that's okay too.
So what does that mean? If I'm bringing my son, my 4-year-old who's not fully vaccinated, now he's going to be in a grocery store potentially exposed to people who are not vaccinated, who could be of danger to him. And so I guess I am kind of befuddled as to where this guidance came from.
Then leave your kid at home, doctor, or look at the data that shows that children are at very, very low risk of contracting the virus. Also, you're gonna have to come to the realization that there is always gonna be someone, somewhere, that isn't vaccinated. And even though they're fully vaccinated, changing the mask guidance makes people like MSNBC's Rachel Maddow very nervous.
If you are vaccinated, it's okay to take off your mask now, indoors and out. Really? Are you sure? How sure are you? This is a big change.
Funny how we're supposed to believe in the science until it interferes with your personal feelings.
I feel like I'm gonna have to rewire myself so that when I see somebody out in the world who's not wearing a mask, I don't instantly think you are a threat, or you are selfish, or you are a COVID denier and you definitely haven't been vaccinated.
Instead of considering that maybe someone isn't wearing a mask because they have been vaccinated, instead, when Maddow sees someone without a mask, she automatically thinks that they're a selfish COVID denier that's a threat to her. But we know the type of person Rachel Maddow is, and it shouldn't be a shock. But hey, at least she's being honest. And on that sad and sorry note, that's it for now. Be sure to like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. If there is next time.